Hey guys, Willem from Blauberg Snake Rescue here. I have an interesting case here. Someone called me earlier about the snake they found in their factory. It's a little Cape Cobra, but it got caught up in some boxing tape, unfortunately. So you can see the snake down there, he's stuck in the sticky tape. And he probably tried to sail over it and then got stuck and it started rolling all over his body. So his head is loose, and I did check when I went and picked him up. He was able to breathe at least. Oh, and he's a bit feisty. He doesn't like his situation that he's in. His head is loose, but like you can see, his tail is stuck in there, and it's actually stuck in quite tightly as well. So what I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to have to take him out and try and get the tape off and just make sure that there was no damage on him. And then I'll be able to go and release him. Now, in this video, you're going to see me holding this snake. Please, please, please don't ever do this with any snake that you encounter. If you haven't had the training on how to do this safely, this is extremely dangerous to do. So don't copy what I'm doing here. I have had the training and I have experience with these animals. Anyway, let's see what we can do. Okay, so I have this little guy here safely now. He can't get to me at the moment. Beautiful juvenile coloring on him. I'll show you a bit more after I've gotten him out. So let's try and get this tape off first. It's tricky because I have to do it all with one hand, but it's not impossible. Start by getting rid of some of these bigger pieces. Shame, he was quite anxious when I went to pick him up. I could see he was hooting all the time and was hissing a little bit as well. Understandable. The poor thing probably got stuck last night or a couple of hours ago, and it doesn't understand what's going on. I don't want to pull on it because I don't want to pull off any scales, but I'm just carefully going to try and move it off of the tape here, little bit by little bit. It's got a couple of kinks in its body as well, but nothing that looks like it's been hurt. I will check now that its spine is still okay, but it's unlikely for that to have been hurt. The snake wouldn't be strong enough to pull itself and hurt its spine, I would think. Just gonna do that. Okay, last bit that's left is the tail, and that also happens to be the bit that's stuck in there the most. Let me just see how this got kinked up. Okay. You can kind of see what's going on there. There we go. Oh, the moment he was free, I think he felt that. He started moving actually. Okay, so that's the last of the tape off. And I'm just looking over his body here. I don't see any damage. There are no broken or torn scales. There's no blood or anything like that. So I think he's fine. He was just stuck a little bit. Also, I can see the tail is moving over here, if you see that. So the spine wasn't damaged. And what I've got him here, something interesting about Cape Cobras, a couple of snakes have this. You see on the tip of the tail there, you may be able to make it out. Let me see if I can get it a little bit closer. There's kind of a little prong, a little sharp bit there. Some snakes have that in Cape Cobras, for example. When you try and pick them up by the tail, they actually like stab you with that little tip. It doesn't hurt, it can't do anything to you, it's just to try and scare you off. Okay, in this case he's just holding on, he's not really interested in doing that. But yeah, it's just to try and scare you off when you pick them up. A couple of characteristics about this snake. Cape Cobras are our most color variant species in South Africa. Oh, there he's doing it now. He's stabbing me, you see. Anyway, they're our most color variant species in South Africa. They can be yellow, they can be brown, they can be almost black, they can be brown with spots, yellow with spots. So just purely based on color and patterning, you can't necessarily ID these snakes. If you've had the training, then what you look at is the shape of the head, the scales that the snake has, the area it was found in, and sometimes the patterning as well, things like that. And especially when they're a juvenile, they have this coloration down the body here that you can see here, the olive greenish body with the darker spots in between. That's very typical of the Cape Cobra juveniles. As they grow older, they will lose that coloring most likely. And if you look at the throat here, you should be able to see that. You see on the throat, it's got a brown band there. There we go. That brown band on the throat is characteristic of the Cape Cobra juveniles as well. And most of them also lose that as they grow up. Then looking at the head from the top, not so much with a juvenile like this, but with an adult, you can very clearly see the big cheeks that a Cape Cobra has. Those are where the venom glands are. And then also on the juveniles, you can kind of see there the scale below the eye. It almost makes it look like a teardrop. But yeah, that's a little juvenile Cape Cobra. Cape Cobras are neurotoxic, which means if one of these snakes bites you, it's going to affect your nervous system. Specifically, what happens is you stop breathing. And there's nothing you can do at home to help with a bite from a snake like this, at least to cure a bite from a snake like this. All you can do is get to a hospital with a trauma unit as quickly as you possibly can. If you get to the hospital, they will manage your symptoms, and if necessary, they can source antivenom if they don't have it, but you have to get to a hospital as quickly as you possibly can. You don't have to take the snake with you. If you can do it safely, take a photo of the snake with your cell phone, but don't try and catch it, don't try and kill it. That's just going to lead to more people being bitten. Just get to the hospital as quickly as you can, and the doctors will be able to handle it from there. Okay, so even though he's moving, he is a little bit lackluster. So I don't know how long he's been in the tape. Maybe it was the whole weekend. I'm just going to give him some water now, and I'll keep him safely in my snake bin for a couple of hours, see what he looks like later, and then I'll go and release him. So I got him some water. Let's put him down, and then hopefully he's going to go and have a nice drink. I'm just going to leave him in the bucket here, let him recover a bit. And then in about an hour or two, I'll go and release him. Okay, so this little guy is doing much better now, and should be fine to release him. As you can see, he's recovered. He's quite recovered. He's nice and feisty now. Yep, definitely back to his normal Cobra self there. Let me just get a couple of nice photos quickly. Okay, so let's take him out and release him. He should make his way out. Let's just help him a little bit. Come on, little guy. Out you go. Out you go. Oh. There we go. And like all snakes, he doesn't want to attack me. He doesn't really want anything to do with me. The moment he sees he's free and there's a spot to escape to, he's going to be safely on his way. You see, he just made his way into a hole there, and he's going to be safe. Thanks, guys. Remember, if you ever find a snake on your property, take a look at snake removal. Call your nearest snake catcher. They will come and capture it for you. You don't ever have to deal with a snake yourself, and both you and the animal can be safe.